All right, folks, welcome back to Atlanta for the UNCF 2022 Unite Summit for Black Higher Education. We're joined right now by the president of St. Augustine's College in Raleigh, North Carolina, Dr. Christine Johnson McPhail. Glad to have you here. Fairly new in the seat. Just hold up a little bit.
Delighted to be here, and I've been in the seat about 14 months now.
So when President Biden came to North Carolina A&T, he talked about the amount of money that various HBCUs had gotten, and it wasn't just public institutions, it was private schools as well. I was talking to Dr. Michael Lomax and Dr. Walter Kimber about this, and so how did y'all get through that COVID period and the difficulties that many universities were facing?
It was definitely a challenging time for St. Augustine's University, as it was with our sister institutions as well. But we also viewed it as an opportunity for us to take a look at how we delivered our services and our teaching and learning environment for students. So we took a deep dive into our technological infrastructure. We looked at how we could multi-purpose classrooms as well, all through the lens of the three perspectives of the HBCU. How do we deliver on the promise of economic impact? How do we deliver on the promise of cultural uplifting and maintaining their culture? And also looking at the political impact that we play in the community. So we went into our strong spots. HBCUs have always been social justice engines. I think everyone will agree to that. But when we looked at who we were at St. Augustine's University, we knew that we had space defined in the health professionals area. For example, St. Agnes Hospital, the historical hospital on our campus, was the only place that African Americans from New Orleans to Washington, D.C. could get health care. So that we own that space. So now in the pandemic area, we're saying, how can we repurpose that? So we're seeing ourselves as the center for the study of health disparities. How do we look at that? We can become who we are legacy-wise, but also define that space contemporarily. And we're looking at being the place to go to if you want to know about health disparities for African Americans, and also being that workforce pipeline in the pre-health professional education space.
I've talked to any number of presidents who have lamented the lack of alumni giving. Folks talk more than they give. In talking with folks, the average is around 5%. Claflin is the highest of all HBCUs. There are some that are in the 2 to 3% range. Right. What have you made clear to your alumni that they must do? Folks, they want to come back from home, come in, they might want to wear the name on their hats and shirts, but they're not sending a check back. What have you made clear to them what their obligation is?
That's a great question. And what we're seeing is nobody's innocent when we talk about the lack of giving of the alumni. The university has a responsibility for reaching out and educating the alumni about what the needs of the university are. And also the alumni has a responsibility staying in contact with the university so we could collaborate collectively about how to do that. I'm excited about my relationship and our relationship as a university with our National Alumni Association. Matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, the National Association of Alumni will be on campus. We're presenting them our strategic plan, identifying specific asks that we want our alumni to know about. For example, technology is a big issue, particularly inside of our classroom. We want 15 or 20 more smart classrooms, so we're being very specific with the alumni and say, here's a gift that you can give. Give us a classroom, smart classroom, $20,000. So we have a list that we're going to engage in that conversation with them, tell them what our plans are, and then help them see where we are, and then we'll talk about how they can specifically give. They're excited about the conversation as well.
Where do you currently stand in terms of enrollment? Is it up? Is it down? Is it level off?
We are excited about that as well. And what we feel that it's very important for us to understand that our traditional business model in providing education and training as an HBCU institution won't work today. So we had to redefine that. Our enrollment is indeed up. Our retention is up. and our persistence is up. And out of 4 years, we've had the highest alumni giving that we've had in the history of the university. So we're excited about that, and we want it to continue to grow.
What would you say is your greatest need right now?
Infrastructure, barring none. Our residence halls are old. Our lighting is old. Our HVAC systems need to be repaired. And around that infrastructure development, repurposing classrooms so that we can have the technology networks that we need, and the infrastructure technologically to offer more and expanded online offerings. So those are like barring none, and those are the big ticket financial options as well.
You got a student out there trying to figure out where they want to go. Make the case why they should go to your university.
Because we see the student as a student and as a person, not as a statistic. We are going to connect with you when you first come to St. Augustine's University. We're going to want to know what your career path is, and we're going to show you how to connect, and we're going to show you how to stay on and complete what you want to complete. We help students finish what they start. That's our tagline, and that's our story. And our faculty and our staff is committed to the mission of the university, and they know what it is, and that is to have students be successful. When you walk onto St. Augustine's University campus, they're going to say, what are the two things that we are about? That anybody, whoever you talk to, is going to be able to tell you. We are committed to student success, and we are committed to the sustainability of St. Augustine's University.
All right. Dr. Johnson McPhail, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks a bunch for joining with us, and certainly enjoy the rest of this summit.
And thank you for the opportunity to share.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Let's